All right, we're live. So yeah, what I'm thinking to do today is try, first of all, maybe watch this video from Jaman and try to use gluegun CLI framework. The one thing I noticed, like I love to create new projects with React Native, tried some tutorials, etc. And yeah, it's really annoying to do this initial setup, because just create Expo app or React CLI isn't like enough to comfortably use it. I won't usually install something like prettier, maybe some test, maybe some tailwind. I see my bitrate is a bit okay. Now it looks fine. Yeah, so let's watch the video first.
I want to inspire you to be able to script your own things, build your own really beautiful CLIs using the tools that we include in gluegun. Gluegun has been around for a while. I think that the first release was 6 years ago, something like that. It includes all kinds of cool stuff, like it parses.
There a link? Yeah. So there is gluegun and quick start. There's various docs. Okay, let's move on.
That are passed into your CLI. I'll show you that. It has a templating system and the ability to patch file contents and make.
Yeah, templating system is actually what I wanna try. Like, create some templates when you create the new React Native app, and avoid this doing again and again. Previously, I had a script, bash script, but the experience is not really cool, so probably this approach will be a bit better.
Make changes within files, which is really helpful for CLIs, especially for developers. You can access the file system, you can run system commands, you can even interact with servers outside of your computer, just pinging a server. There's also a really cool prompt library. You can print pretty colors and tables and different things like that. There's also a tool for dealing with semantic versioning, which is useful sometimes. And there's a strings library for manipulating strings and template data. And there is a package manager tool as well, which allows you to install dependencies, add and remove things using npm, yarn, and eventually bun. There's also a really interesting plugin system for gluegun. I'm not going to go through that in this particular video, but maybe in a future video. Comment below if you want me to talk more about the plugin system with gluegun. While I'm here, make sure that you go to the github.com/infinitered/gluegun repository and click that star button. I really appreciate it. And hit the like button and the subscribe button below. It's always helpful to see that people like the videos that I'm putting out. Why would you want to use gluegun instead of one of the alternatives? Well, I think that gluegun.
Yeah, definitely Jaman is an opinion leader in the React Native community. Did a lot, did the conferences, they do a lot of open source, and like this is his new channel, so do subscribe, do like the to press the like his videos to share it more, because it's worth to look content.
Gluegun has the right balance, at least in my opinion, between power and flexibility. So a lot of other CLI frameworks out there either are too bare bones, like Commander, or they have too much. They come with way too much stuff and they're very heavy, where I think that Gluegun kind of finds that right balance in between. It's also got a really great API, in my opinion. Again, these are all very much a preference-based thing, but you can decide for yourself when you give it a shot. So let's get started building a CLI so you can see how it's done. I'm just going to build a CLI that downloads the Blazers roster from last year. I tend to do a lot of Trailblazers themed stuff on this channel. Prints it out as a table on your screen so that you can kind of see all the data that is there. You'll see how to build the CLI and how easy it is and how to use all the different tools that gluegun gives you. So first off, go into your terminal and run npx gluegun new, and I'm going to call this Blazers.
So yeah, let's try something out as well. So we need to do npx gluegun new and now hello glue.
Sked, and it'll ask you what language you want to use. This is actually going to go away in a future version of gluegun. We're just going to assume you want TypeScript. That may not be a popular opinion, but that is a thing that we're working toward. We feel that TypeScript is the best way to build CLIs. You can certainly use the current version of gluegun if you want modern JavaScript instead. What's interesting is,
yeah, definitely we want TypeScript. Actually, for the small CLI tool, JavaScript may be fine, and in some cases maybe even better approach. But yeah, just for consistency's sake, we can use TypeScript everywhere.
interesting is this gluegun CLI to create a gluegun CLI is written in gluegun. Okay, so I'm going to cd into the new Blazor Sked, and I'm going to run yarn test just like.
Okay, so since you generate TypeScript project, we will include a build script. When you link and run the project, it will use TS node locally to test. However, you can test the generated JavaScript locally like this. I think we need to do yarn link. Okay, we need to go to the directory yarn link, and now we can run our command. Welcome to your CLI. So let's open the source directory. And you see there is some bunch of files and codes. I'm not yet sure what it is. Extension. This is kind of entry point, I guess. We can modify. Our commands here, probably. I don't know.
Just like it says, and all the tests have passed. And we also want to run yarn link. Now, if you're using bun, which I do recommend actually, but if you're using bun or npm, you can also run bun link or npm link. Now that you've run yarn link, you can actually just run Blazor's Sked, and it will run your CLI. So let's take a look at the code. You have a package JSON. The only runtime dependency is gluegun. There are some dev dependencies as well. We have a docs folder with some basic information that you can fill out, and there's a binary folder. I'm going to actually take a look at that in a second. There's also some tests. I'm not going to look at the tests right now, but there is a guide on how to write tests. So if you go to the binary, you'll see that we are running in Node. I am working on another CLI framework that will run exclusively in bun, so keep an eye out for that. And what it does is it loads from your build or your source folder, depending on if you're running it in development like we are now or in production, and runs the CLI file. So let's go to the CLI. You can see that from the run function, we are specifying the name of the CLI.
Okay, this is the name of the CLI.
What is the source folder? So the source folder is in dir name, which is just your local current directory. What plugin?
Okay, let's say test TS, and I want to do console log dir name and if I do not yes test, sorry, it might be ts not and pics ts not. So you see their name is okay. Yeah, it was a bit confusing what is their name for me, so now it's clear.
Plugins you have available, that's not something I'm going to go into. We can even disable that if we don't want plugin support. Default help and a
So the plugin is something he mentioned he will not cover, but I guess there is some docs, community, CLI and plugins. This is actually looks interesting. And what CLI starter is. Okay, the demo image is the same. The name is different, but I don't really see difference. Okay, let's skip it
the
for
default
now.
version command right out of the bat, so I can just type in blazers sched -- help and it will also give me default help there. It creates the CLI and then runs it. This toolbox is something that you'll see throughout the sched version command right out of the bat, so I can just type in blazers sched -- help and it will also give me default.
Okay.
Help there. It creates the CLI and then runs it. This toolbox is something that you'll see throughout the CLI in gluegun, and it gives you all the tools that you need in order to run your CLI. Right now, all we have is the blazor sched.ts. This is sort of like your default command. This is the one that runs if you just.
Okay, this is our default command and CLI from Dima. Okay.
Just run this. It just says welcome to your CLI. So just to prove that this works, Trailblazers 2022 schedule. And if I just save it and just run again, it now says Trailblazers 2022-2023 schedule. Okay, very cool. So we've actually built a CLI. We can just ship it, right? Now we need some more functionality. Let's explain what's happening here. So we're exporting a command. It is a gluegun command. The command has a name. In this case, it's just the default one, so we're just naming it the same as the CLI. This is a common thing within gluegun. I tried to avoid index.ts files. You're not going to see a lot of index.ts files in a gluegun repository. Things are going to be named the same as either the CLI itself or the command folder that it's in. If I were to create a new command, let's just go ahead and call this schedule. And just for convenience, I'm going to copy this one in here, rename this to schedule, and I'm going to say schedule in all caps here. So let's run Blazor sched schedule.
So okay, let's maybe rename it this CMD. Okay. And this works. Okay.
And it says schedule. Great. Okay, now we want to go and download the data from the website. And you can see here that we have a GitHub. It's just a JSON file. We're pretending like this is an API. But essentially, we will be downloading from this URL. So I'm going to copy that URL. I'm going to say const base URL equals, and then I'm going to put in just the base URL part of this. So let's go with this as the base URL. Const path equals, and then I'll just drop in the path here. Const response equals, and we need to import, it's not really importing, it's destructuring from the toolbox, the HTTP library. So we're going to await http.create, the base URL, we're passing that in, and then we're getting the path from. And for now, let's just console.log out the response. Let's go ahead and run this. And you can see that we got a response back, and within that response, we also have data, response.data.schedule, and it's telling me that this is an unknown type. We're going to have to type this, request. Let's go ahead and just copy this right here and create a type for that. Change this to an array. Some people like to put array here. I'll go ahead and do that just to appease them. And then all of these are just going to be strings. So we're just going to replace all of this. And then we have our schedule response. And then down here we can say const schedule equals response.data as schedule response. And then we have our schedule and we can console log it out. And there we go. There's our schedule. So you can kind of see how the workflow goes. You're running the command over in your terminal. You're making changes here. It's relatively straightforward stuff. But let's get a little bit fancier here. Instead of using console.log, let's use print.table. And what it wants is a string of strings. So we're gonna have to do some transformation here to turn it into that. Const table data equals schedule.map, and then we have each game, right? So now we need to return an array as well. The game date, the game time, the game location, and the game opponent. And now we can output and there we go. There we have a table. Const table data equals schedule.map, and then we have each game, right? So now we need to return an array as well. The game date,
Okay.
game time.
Actually, it's not very interesting for us. This up. So maybe user interaction.
You want to have user interaction. You don't want to just output data. So let's add a little twist to this. First thing we're going to do is import prompt or destructure prompt. And then we're going to say const replace team name equals await prompt.ask. What team do you want to replace with another team? Let's use the print.debug to see what exactly the replace team name variable is responding with, because it's not exactly what you might think. I'm going to go ahead and run this. We'll see our question here. I'm going to say jazz. And then you can see at the top here under the debug, it gives you this nice like rainbow thing just so you can see what's going on in the output. But there's actually a team name property within the replace team name variable. So that's just part of the API. Const team name equals replace team name.team. Now we need to ask what do we replace it with? And Copilot is being helpful here. And then we can do that. The opponent now needs to be replaced like so, just so that we get the result that we want. Game opponent will replace the team name with a different team name. Okay. And this is kind of a silly example, but let's go ahead and try this. We want to replace the Jazz with the Lakers. And I hit enter, and you can see right here that we have the Utah.
So basically we can use prompt. object from the gluegun.
Lakers, jazz dot, and we're going to dot succeed with data created. It should finish the spin. Await new promise, and we'll throw in a set timeout right there. And so we'll have a spinner dot succeed with data created. It should finish the spinner. We'll print out the table as well. So let's give that a shot. And we're going to say jazz, and this time we're going to say the heat. And you have a nice little spinner, and then it says data created and outputs everything there. So this is a great introduction to how gluegun works. If you wanted more commands, you could add them here. Of course, you can make all kinds of things. It just depends on your imagination. So I'm really excited to see what you build. Also, keep an eye out for the bun-powered gluegun successor. This has been around for a long time, and I have a lot of great ideas based on all of our experience building CLIs, including Ignite CLI. Let me know in the comments what you think about this, and if you build anything with gluegun, let me know.
Okay, I think we're done with video. It's good introduction, but what I'm really curious is maybe to look into Ignite. Is it anyhow similar with the structure? src commands. Maybe I'll just clone the repo. Okay. Clone. Just think it will be easier to surf through the code. So we have CLI. We did some exclude, there is their name, there is brand. Do we have what we have in our CLI auto box? So brand, this is the name of the command. Plugins, there is no plugins in Ignite. Okay, run CLI. And return toolbox. Okay. Pix ignite CLI, ignite, and we're supposed to see npm install means gt node. So cannot find so I guess this is trying to run local ignite CLI. No. Let's try to Google it. Hmm. I'm just trying to understand, is it something about command line in the Vim? No, it's not just in Vim. Let me try voicing. Okay, probably it was just missing dependency problem. And yeah, it was. So we were looking at commands ignite. where it comes from. It's coming from the help command, as we can see. There is some pretty tools. Okay. But why it show us help? If we run okay, I'll put the same and so whenever it's not something, it's not new, generate doctor name, remove snackify, it shows us help. This one is interesting. It can generate up icon. Okay, there is a lot of maybe we can go another way and try ChatGPT. So I would like to create new React Native Expo project. CLI tool with gluegun framework, which will create, I don't know, something like this. Okay, let's try this code. Let's back to hello glue and add expo command. And let's check expo new project. Okay. Okay, I think this must be a command like this. Maybe we should do yarn build. No. Maybe the name is something should to consider. Yeah. Okay, it's created. But the first thing I don't like, I don't saw the output. Let's repeat and see if it's ask for name. It's not actually ask anything. See, it kind of should ask you what is your app name, etc. Let's see if Ignite use something like this. Or it might be just use templates and not use any commands like create expo app. Yeah, to be honest, I expected it would be much easier. Maybe I should back to the bash approach. Possibly gluegun is also could work for this for task I want to do, but yeah, it might be maybe it required a bit more resources than expected. So ignite use new. Either is packager, run cmd. Install cmd. Yeah, to be honest, it feels too complex. I mean, in terms of how much time I want to spend on learning this tool, to use it. Yes, yeah. Basically, I feel like I need more time to understand how it's working, and if it either provides me ability to do what I actually want to do. So my approach is, let me show. So I'm basically using the bash. I'm not an expert in bash and etc, but with, I think it was even before the chat GPT, so I just use Copilot, and yeah, I just create these commands, install additional dependencies, and add some templates. Also, this was when I use tvRNC, but now I'm using native Tailwind or Tailwind native, something library like this. Basic app template. So yeah. This approach is much more straightforward. Maybe I will search for next stream something like maybe there is some tools in bash we can use, or we will start create new one, because I think I even have article or blog post how I created this bash script. Yeah, I even documented it. I believe now it's outdated, but we create something more reliable on current period. I don't know, for next half year, or if I will be constantly use it and fix everything is broken, because it was like maybe half year when I, or even more, when I don't really touch React Native, and things change since then. Yeah, probably this will be the plan. We will try to create bash script next stream for our template. At least we will start. We will like create some simple solution and then we start adding everything I wanted. I actually have another project like image photo calculator, and I think I tried to collect different steps of project setup. But even, you know, it was 3 months ago. I see it already looks different from what Expo suggests. But what I did here, set up tape script, ESLint prettier, unit testing, React Native testing library, native width and Expo router. Yeah, maybe for start we can just go with TypeScript, ESLint prettier, skip the testing. I don't plan to do any testing at the moment, and back to it when I will need it. And yeah, native wind is something I definitely want to do. Plugin and Expo router. This is maybe basic setup I want to have and don't recreate it again and again when I start new projects. So simple bash script can solve like problem personally for me. Maybe if I will to try solve it for some amount of people, like you create reusable tool, then yeah, I need something more complicated, but just for myself I can use simple bash script, and this is the approach. Like I don't know, the approach, if you're a developer like and you like to develop things, like do programming, so you can put your effort to automate everything you don't like around yourself. Like this weekend I create the super simple app. On my keyboard I don't see where this caps lock turn on or turn off, so I asked ChatGPT how I can create the macOS app that will show you in the taskbar, and you know, if I press it, I simply show this red dot, because when the caps lock is turned on in the name, it's messed. Every like key binding is broken for me, and it's always confusing. So now if I have caps lock on, I see this red, it's clear indicate, and it's super simple app. Yeah, I spent, I don't know, maybe a couple hours, because yeah, ChatGPT can provide me it from scratch, so I will need to mix up ChatGPT with Stack Overflow, with GitHub solutions. But actually it's still completely written by ChatGPT. I don't really write code there, which is quite exciting. And what I mean here is, like, I don't think you shouldn't like have the skills to write code yourself, use only ChatGPT. I mean this in my main project at my job. I almost never use ChatGPT because I'm so deep in understanding, and I do it better and quicker than if I will do it through ChatGPT. But I have general understanding on the programming, and I don't have experience with building macOS apps with Swift, but my general understanding enough to combine some information from ChatGPT and internet, basically Stack Overflow, Google, etc., to make small app to solve my small problem. And I shouldn't worry about the code quality or something. At this level, it's like you're building MVP, or it's not MVP, it's like solving some problem, and if the problem solved, you don't really care how good your code. It's not something super big, it should be scaled, it will not work for teams. You just apply your skills to improve your life quality, like solve some your issue, some your pain point in daily job. For example, another project I did is invoice generator. To get paid for my job, I need to generate invoice each month and send it. So I have another project in Python, which I never learned how to code in Python, but the Python is the best tool to solve this project, because how I solve it, I have basically for invoice I using the Google Docs template, Google Spreadsheets, and there is good Python good SDKs in Python for all this stuff. So I just ran the command, it take the template, fill the dates, fill everything I need, and create the draft on the email. Then I draft with PDF. So after I run it, I just need to go to my draft emails and check if I want. I feel more comfortable to check everything is fine before sending it, but you also can automatically send it. So I'm doing draft first and send the draft manually, but you can send it automatically. And I don't think it's probably super bad Python code, but I don't really care. I almost don't know Python, but it solved my problem. I can use these SDKs and it works just fine for me. It's so save time each month. I spent at least, I don't know, 15 to half an hour each time I need to do it, or sometimes even more. And you know, you're always worried about making a mistake in the invoice, and when it's automated I feel super comfortable. I don't really like when it's tested for some period of time. I'm sure it generated correct things, so I just open, look, dates is correct, so okay, move on. So nice, so better experience, and it's improved my life quality. And I did enjoy while I writing these things because I like the programming, I'm developer, this is what I like to do every day. So yeah, I encourage everyone to use their skills, their superpower. Like we spent at work huge amount of time, like, and we gain some skills from doing our job, and it's like our strong parts, we can use it. So if you're good at coding and you can solve some problems, and sometimes it saves you time, sometimes it just probably comparable effort, but yeah, I don't know. I am suggest to try this approach. Find the problem, easy problem. I don't recommend to solve something super hard, at least for start. Like for start, just try to solve super simple, like spend couple hours and like this, make an app which show you some icon and solve your problem. Or another example, I tried to create my local bank currency widget on my phone, so I can check currency state, monitor it, because it was important for me at some point. And yeah, same way I spent a bit of time with ChatGPT. It helps me generate the code, like, which if I tried to do it myself, it took me a lot of time, but my general understanding how things work is enough to apply these solutions from AI, from the internet, so I can build it quickly, solve my problem, and have fun. I think, yeah, I have go to my work, and that's it for today. Thank you for being with me, thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.